before Bazzi's music would be streamed over 1 billion times. Before Bazzi would have Taylor Swift placing his song Mine on her personal playlist, have the boy band BTS tweet their support, and have Camila Cabello jump on the remix of his track Beautiful, later taking him on tour. Before he would perform on The Ellen Show, twice.
Here to make his television debut performing Mine, please welcome Bazi. Here to perform his latest hit Beautiful, please welcome Bazi.
Bazzi's had dreams of making music for a living since he was just 6 years old, and says that he has never had a job besides music in his life. But it wasn't until his senior year of high school, after moving from Michigan to Los Angeles, when he really started seeing that dream come to life. He started off singing covers on YouTube and then blew up through the app Vine, rest in peace. After creating his own sound though, he would explode into stardom with his song Mine, which at this point has been heard everywhere in the cosmic universe. Cosmic is also the name of his album, so that was my attempt at a bad pun, but just forget it. Anyways, how did he end up going from a kid in Canton, Michigan with a dream and a great voice, to his song Mine receiving over 400 million streams on Spotify and 100 million views on YouTube? Well, you clicked on the right video. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Jeremy Hecht, filling in for Michael McCrudden here on Before They Were Famous, documenting the life and career of Bazzi prior to fame. We've done videos on other singers like Camila Cabello and Ella Mai in the past, so be sure to check those out after you finish watching this video.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
Bazzi was born Andrew Bazzi on August 28, 1997, and grew up in Canton, Michigan, where he says the musical influence is almost unavoidable. His mother is from America, but his father immigrated from Lebanon to the States, and Bazzi is very proud of his Lebanese heritage. He's loved music since a young age, and has known that he wanted to make music for a living since he was as young as 6 years old.
Music has always been my main focus and priority. So the fact that, now it's happening. Today it's happening. It's the most, gratifying feeling in the world.
At 4 years old, he was singing, and he learned how to play the guitar at around the same age. I knew when I was that young that I wanted to be an entertainer. My dad got me this little guitar, and I played the mess out of that thing. I used to dress up as Elvis and go to my neighbor's house, and I would put on a show for everybody. The last time I dressed up as Elvis and went to my neighbor's house, they placed a restraining order on me, but I'm glad it worked out for Bazzi. By the age of 10, he was playing drums, bass, piano, and started performing in his church choir at around the age of 11. The first concert he went to was the Foo Fighters show, and his first CD ever was their album In Your Honor. And for those of you too young to know what a CD is, it's basically an aux cord with a limited amount of songs on it. But growing up, he was influenced by a wide range of artists from Justin Timberlake to Guns N' Roses, but was heavily influenced by Prince. He says his favorite album ever is Purple Rain, and when speaking on what the singer represented to him, Bazzi stated, "Looking at someone like Prince, it lets you know that it's possible to not compromise who you are or your identity and still be mainstream."
Looking at someone like Prince, it lets you know it is possible for the world to connect with you, but to not compromise who you are, your identity. So Prince really inspires me.
In grade school, he was always somewhat of a class clown, but he diverted that energy into performing. His first performance was actually when he sang at his 6th grade middle school talent show, performing Bruno Mars' Talking to the Moon, a song that I've definitely cried to multiple times, I'm not gonna lie. He told USA Today that he even got an encore and came back out to perform I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. While attending Plymouth Canton Educational Park in Michigan, he started posting videos to YouTube in 2012, but nothing really took off like he had hoped. Most of his older videos are actually taken off of YouTube, but I did find this one of a young Bazzi covering Fetty Wap's Trap Queen. In 2013, he would then say "Hey, what's up, hello" to the now deceased app Vine, where he started posting 6-second covers and funny videos. But this time, the world actually started to catch on, and just 2 years later, he would accumulate 2 million followers on the app. When speaking about his first Vine video ever, he said, "It was just some dumb rap video we did as a joke. I remember going to bed on that video and waking up and seeing 200 likes or something, and I was like, that's so cool, 200 likes, I'm gonna keep going." He continued posting covers of popular songs by Bruno Mars, Jason Derulo, T-Pain, and more, and said, "Throughout the process, it just kind of blew up. I would wake up and start seeing 50 or 60K likes." He was even the first artist to release a Vine featured track called Bring Me Home. The song gained popularity from, this. He collaborated frequently on Vine with his close friends and fellow Vine musicians Rajiv Dal and Tanner Patrick, making cover videos. The three went on a small tour called the Longer Than 6 Seconds Tour, and even performed at the House of Blues in Dallas. You know what I always say, anything longer than 6 seconds is a win for me. Although the online recognition was cool, Bazzi still had dreams of stadiums and knew he needed to get new perspectives and a change of scenery in order to reach his goals. In November of 2014, Bazzi moved to Los Angeles for his senior year of high school to pursue music and would finish his education at Santa Monica High School in 2015. In an article written by the Santa Monica High School website, or Samo High Online as they call it, he said, "I lived in Michigan up until November 2014, but I was missing a lot of school in Michigan because I was always out here in LA recording, making music and going to meetings and things like that. So my parents just said, yo, you can live there." He moved with his dad, who he calls one of his biggest believers, but says that above all, he believes in himself. Besides his father, he said he didn't have any friends or connections in LA. He said that he didn't learn much from school, but places a high value on educating himself, instead learning from people like LeBron James and Will Smith, who are big inspirations for him on how to consistently perform at a high level so late in their careers. Saying, "I look at people who are great, and what they do I observe." His lack of learning in school may also have been a result of paying some kid to do all of his homework and tests.
Like, I was paying this kid like
to do your tests?
to do all my
Homework?
tests and all my homework.
Yeah.
And I was crushing it in school. I was crushing it.
No shame in the game, but this all came because of his unrelenting passion for music. Bazzi said that once he had his first studio session in LA, it changed everything for him, and he knew the direction that he wanted to take his music. "I actually got in my first session and my whole life changed. I realized my ability was in creating music and in producing and writing, rather than singing other people's songs." He initially had plans to go to college, stating in 2015, "I think with how busy things have gotten for me, I'll take a year off after high school to focus heavily on my music, but I do have plans to attend college." But he never ended up going back to school, which probably saved him some money not having to pay anyone to do his homework for him. But after high school, he lived on his own in LA and said that the added responsibility really helped him grow. He told the Weekend Throwdown's radio show that he has done a lot of shit over the last few years. "Not all that I'm proud of, but it all built me, gave me perspective." Bazzi took some personal time to learn about himself, to grow and develop a sound that he loved before putting it out into the world. From watching pretty much every interview I could find from him online, it seems like the biggest thing that he learned during this time is how important it is to love yourself first and to not find your validation through the opinions or love of others. He expressed this thought concisely to Larry King, saying, "You have to find your value within yourself and not try to live through other people's expectations." He says the first song he ever wrote was called "Rock With Me," and it's something that we'll probably never hear. Once he was confident in the original music that he was writing, he finally put it out into the world, and the response, well, let's just say it wasn't horrible. He started releasing singles onto SoundCloud and streaming services including Alone, Beautiful, and Sober. He started gaining some traction, but it was one of his songs in particular that started to catch on with people. One day he was at the pool with some friends, and while he was inside grabbing something to eat, a melody came into his head.
I went inside to grab a drink, and that melody instantly hit my head. Na 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 na.
He quickly recorded it as a voice note in his phone and saved it.
I actually have the voice note from that day.
He hit up his co-producer Kevin White, who was a part of the Rice and Peas production duo, and called him like, "Bro, I got this idea, it's gonna change the world, it's gonna change everything." They laid the song down in the studio and put it out into the world. The song Mine was released in October of 2017. At some point before the official drop though, he signed a deal with Atlantic Records because the song was promoted on their official Twitter account. But the deal was kept pretty low key. It actually wasn't until 2018 that the song would absolutely blow up. Bazzi credits the success of the song to multiple things lining up perfectly. It got added to a big Spotify playlist, bumping it up a few 100,000 streams per day. Then while he was in South Korea working on music, most likely co-writing songs for the K-pop boy bands EXO and NCT Dream, who he has been credited as writing for. He saw a tweet with lyrics from his own song that had 80K retweets, and he was like, wait, what's going on? Then people started creating viral Snapchats and tweets with the song playing in the background while they used the Snapchat heart filter. The memes kept flying and the song kept jumping.
When it's not like Snapchat makes it a filter, but some random dude and wherever makes like this funny filter. It just spreads and like people are just sending it to each other. Like that was so cool for me to see.
That same week, the song went from getting 500,000 plays to 3 million plays a day. The song ended up peaking at number 11 on Billboard Hot 100, and Bazzi says the best way to listen to the song is driving down the Pacific Coast Highway in your top-down convertible at loud volumes, although I've listened to it in a Toyota Camry Uber with the windows up, and I've gotta say, it still sounded great. Bazzi dropped the trippy video for Mine on January 31st, 2018, and it now has over 100 million views on YouTube at the time of recording. He says his favorite lyric is, "I'm so happy you're alive," telling Genius, "I think it was something that people really needed to hear."
Someone out there wants you here, you know what I mean? It's sad and people are afraid to get someone's back, but I want to be the guy that does.
Bazzi isn't surprised by the success of the song because of how much he believes in himself and his craft. But he wasn't the only one to fall in love with the product. In fact, Taylor Swift posted her personal playlist to Twitter, and it included none other than Bazzi's Mine. He was ecstatic because of the respect he has for Taylor as someone who writes her own material. On April 12, 2018, Bazzi dropped his album Cosmic and said that it's a look into the last 3 years of his life and truly represents who he is as a person.
The ups and the downs and the heartbreak and the love and the independence.
The name Cosmic comes from his love of space, and it occupied some space on the charts, debuting at number 1 in the world on the pop iTunes chart and number 14 on the US Billboard 200. I think space and music go hand in hand, in the sense that they give a little more mystery and magic to life. During a Q&A on her Twitter, Camila Cabello said that the one new male artist who she wants to work with is Bazzi.
Male artist that I'd love to collaborate with is Bazi. I just started listening to his new music and I'm a fan.
Well, the cosmic universe aligned once again, and shortly after, the two released a remix of Bazzi's song Beautiful, debuting at number 31 on Billboard. They released the Cinderella-inspired video for the remix on October 15, 2018, and it currently has 18 million views on YouTube. Camila even brought Bazzi on tour to open up for her, later headlining his own tour. Bazzi says that he doesn't really get nervous before performing, except for one instance in particular. On May 19th, he performed Mine on The Ellen Show, and when speaking on the performance, he said,
"Before Ellen, I wasn't nervous, but like until you're standing, like I'm like right there and like behind the little screen that opens up, and then like it opens up and she's looking at you and like smiling and you're like, don't look at me, Ellen."
And he must have gotten past his nerves because he performed on Ellen again with his song Beautiful. He does find time to relax though and is a big fan of playing NBA 2K on Xbox. It's time for the part of the video I know all of you ladies out there watching were waiting for. It's Shoot Your Shot with Bazzi. What are your chances at cuddling up and watching The Bachelor with the singer?
My embarrassing like little guilty pleasure is like, I don't know, The Bachelor is just like, I don't like watch it. Like,
Are you into The Bachelor?
You watch it, yes you do, yes you do.
Don't worry, bro, it's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm actually still heartbroken over the fact that Josh and Andy from season 10 broke up. I mean, not that I would know anything about that. My sister or like my mom must have told me about that. Anyways, if you're looking for a shot at Bazzi's heart, you've got to win him over with your intellect and personality. It's not all about good looks for him. And even though he has famous girls sliding in his DMs, after learning what a sapiosexual is, he thinks he might be one.
This is just a really fancy way of saying you're most attracted to intelligence.
What is it called?
Sapio. Sapio.
I'm sapiosexual.
You didn't even know it.
And I totally am too. I just didn't know that that's what it was.
Yeah.
He says, "I know this sounds a little soft and not very manly of me. I'm interesting with girls because I don't like to just have sex with girls. I like to have a connection. I'm a really emotional kid and clearly a very honest artist and need that inspiration and love. I really need to know somebody." But not to let you all down, he was spotted on Halloween on Instagram with model Renee Herbert, and things look like they could have gotten a little greasy. In the future, he says that he 100% wants to get married and start a family at some point.
I'm definitely the guy that will settle down, but not for a while. One day, like 1,000%, like the whole 9 yards, like I will settle down and really enjoy somebody forever.
But for now, he's focused on his career and reaching a level of greatness that only few get to achieve. He says, "It's not like I'll ever reach the goal. It's not like I'll get to a destination and be like, all right, it's chill. I genuinely love making music. It's what I love to do. I would do it if 5 people listen or 500 million people listen. It's just what feeds my soul and makes me happy." But as for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see because this is before they were famous. I'm Jeremy Hecht. Dream good, live better. Thanks for watching, and be sure to let us know who you want us to document next I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you'd like, hit me up on Insta and Twitter at Jeremy_Hecht with some suggestions. All right.